T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to The Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique, host-created top 10 lists, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts Tach Van Sickle and Adam Poston.
And welcome to another episode of The Twisted 10. Adam, I'm excited today.
Uh-oh.
Because I haven't got to do a list like in forever.
Did you take a good shit?
No. Actually, hold on. No, I'm just kidding.
It has been a while since you did the Twisted 10. So we had, let's see, I did one, our boy Ron did one. No, you did one, Ron did one, I did one, Joe Pardo did one.
Jimmy did one.
Jimmy did one. It hadn't been that long.
Yeah, go back through. Look at the...
Maybe a month or so. Maybe, 5 weeks?
Oh.
So let me put it this way. You've had plenty of time to prepare, and I'm going to have a stellar list this week. Is that what I'm about to hear?
Yes, I have plenty of time to prepare,
Sweet.
Which means I did this afternoon.
Perfect.
And for those of us who, this is the first time that they're listening to us, my name is Tach.
My name is Adam.
And this is the Twisted 10. So what we do here is we come up with original top 10 lists, and we just break it down and go through it. Am I saying that right?
You're perfect. And nothing's, there's no specific topic that we do these on. It could be, the top 10, wrestling midgets to the top 10 porn actresses to the top 10 things about science, whatever. It's all over the board.
They prefer the term little people?
Porn stars prefer little people? Damn it, I fucked up my own joke.
No, we do the topics. If you just look at the app, it'll show them right there. But like drinking traditions, we talk about twisted laws that are still in existence. We talked about twisted Guinness World Records. We've talked about Jimmy Klein stopped by and talked about his top cult movies you have to see. So
and our boy Joe Pardo did. I don't even remember what we named it, but the top 10, like hidden sexual references in Disney movies. And it's ones that you wouldn't normally think of. Like everybody knows about the word sex in Lion King. Everybody knew that, but nobody knew these other ones.
Right.
Jessica Rabbit, what?
So this one that I put together for us today is topical.
Okay.
So it's important that we get this one out pretty quick.
Like sunscreen topical?
No. Topical is in it's in the news. People are discussing this type of thing right now.
Ah, okay.
As we know, in recent news, we know about the Harambe, the gorilla that, lost his life.
That's right.
Due to the boy that fell in the habitat at the Cincinnati Zoo. Well, this isn't the first time something like this has happened.
Gorilla Lives Matter, Tach.
That's right. So we're going to dive into the world of zoo incidences. So this is the top 10 twisted zoo animal attacks or incidences.
Sweet.
I don't have a twist for this week's show, so
okay.
I do apologize. I really tried to think of one, but I didn't.
The twist is we are raising money for that boy's mother to go to parenting classes.
Yeah.
Is that too far?
Something like that.
Too soon?
Okay, so are you ready to just dive into this?
Kind of like the boy did in the gorilla exhibit. I want to dive in.
No pun intended. No pun intended.
No, definitely pun intended there.
Okay, so let's start. This is in no particular order, by the way.
Okay.
This isn't like number one's the best or anything. So, starting with number 10. I named all these just by the name of the zoo, pretty much, most of them. So, This is the Brookfield Zoo. So, on August...
Wait, where's Brookfield?
I'm going to get to that.
Ah, okay.
And on August 16th, 1996, a 3-year-old boy fell into the gorilla habitat at the Brookfield Zoo in Brookfield, Illinois.
Gorilla habitat again? 3-year-old boy again?
Yes, this is the one that this was back in 96. Same exact story. I wanted to start with this one particularly because it was just like the one that just happened.
Okay.
Okay, so a female gorilla named Binti Jwa, I don't know, with her own baby on her back, picked up the unconscious boy into her arms and carried him away from the other gorillas in the to the habitat entrance where the humans come in and out.
Oh, cool.
And laid him down for the humans to pick up the boy to safety. Experts say it was probably good the boy was unconscious because if he was moving around or crying, it may have been perceived as a threat. And there's a video actually online. You can watch this
Okay.
happen. So those who are interested can check it out. So it's the same kind of thing here, but this was like a mother gorilla acting very maternal to this child that is actually unconscious.
So she picked the kid up. She didn't like drag it by its feet like we saw
yeah.
in this recent one.
The kid was completely knocked out. She went over, picked him up like a baby, and carried him over and actually kept him away from they said that the other gorillas there actually looked like threatened by it.
Huh.
Almost as if like they wanted to go like, what's that? What is that? Get that thing out of here kind of a thing, or I'm going to kill it, So she picked him up, took him over to where the human entrance is, like the zookeepers and stuff like that, and laid the boy down gently and then walked away.
Maybe this is something as like a lesson. So, and I know this isn't like a giant occurrence where kids are falling in gorilla cages all over the world, but it does happen occasionally.
Wait till the end of the episode.
I guess that's a good point. It does happen. I wonder, okay, let's take the stance of we are not pro or anti PETA or zoos or anything like that. We're just observers of culture, right? We're not here to defend zoos. We're not here to attack them either.
No.
But zoos exist. These animals are kept in captivity, irrelevant of who's right or wrong. They are kept in captivity.
Right.
What would you think if the zookeepers started a training regiment where they would throw a dummy into these cages and teach these animals to take those, that was my phone.
Oh.
If they taught these animals to take that dummy or that whatever over to that exact same spot, like to the entrance where somebody could come easily get the person and bring them to safety.
Right. I don't know if it would be, because first of all, you are dealing with wild animals, for one thing. Some of them may not be trainable or as trainable as others. And also, a dummy wouldn't be the same as an actual human person.
Granted, you got moving around and stuff like that.
Well, plus they may not visually see a dummy as a person, because it doesn't smell like a person, doesn't smell like anything, unless they have some sort of scent put on it. Who knows? I don't know. But it's interesting. I mean, they should do...
Ode Day 3-year-old?
Yeah, they should definitely... maybe they do training on stuff like this. I have no idea.
You said do.
I did. Tee-hee.
Yes.
But maybe they do training on this kind of stuff. I have no idea, but they probably don't train with the animals, but they probably have procedures.
I don't know. Maybe I'm overlooking too much there. If one gorilla and one kid that fell in could do that, maybe you could teach these other ones to do it, to maybe get to a point where it could potentially be a life-saving event for this animal to learn. Like this other gorilla, what was his name? Harambe. If he'd have done that, he would still be alive right now.
He may have been, was going to do it. Who knows? We don't know.
You see, I'm going to play with this kid first. I'm going to bang him a couple of
I'm going to teach him a lesson. Is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Let me teach and make an example out here. Then I'll take him over to the human entrance and I'll smack him on the ass and be like, and this is what I could have done to you, boy. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Let's move on. Number 9.
Number 9
is the Singapore Zoo.
Okay. Bad enough. Got it. Number 8. No, I'm kidding.
In 2008, a 32-year-old habitat cleaner named Norden Montong, doesn't matter, I guess, at the Singapore Zoo was inside the white tiger habitat moat with a bucket and a mop. I guess he was a cleaner of some kind.
Maybe that was the hazing ritual for the new guy.
Yeah, maybe.
Take this bucket, take this mop, go clean out the tiger's moat. Okay, I will get on that right away.
I want you have to mop the bottom of their moat.
mop the moat. Maybe that's what we should get interns in the show. And first day they show up in studio, listen, Johnny, we're going to need you to go mop the moat, please.
Yeah.
And don't tell them a thing.
I need you to mop the bottom of the pool.
Yeah. Exactly.
I used to have this meme that I made. Was a picture of a guy, he was a soldier or something, and he was out in the rain with a mop. And I put on there, have you ever been in so much shit that you have to mop up rain? Anyway, so this guy was inside tiger. It's a white tiger habitat with a mop and a bucket. The man was seen waving them around 2 white tigers. 2 of the 3 tigers saw him and went immediately over to him. Spectators believe this to be some sort of a show until the tigers began to bite and scratch at him.
Look at that blood looks so real.
Yeah. Well, there's actually video online of this also. It does look like almost like I'm a buffoon guy. Hey, here's a
Oh my God.
So it looks like that. People are like, oh, that's weird, And so anyway, at one point, one had bitten his throat.
Oh, not good.
The man tried to cover his head with the bucket, but he unfortunately...
Wait a minute. Say that line again.
He tried to cover his head with a bucket for protection.
Okay.
All he had was like a mop and a bucket, and 2 big white tigers were like on him. And
that's what eating curry will get you at Tach. I don't know if you know, but Singapore is really big in curry. So
are they?
I don't know.
But he did unfortunately, he lost the battle with the 2 tigers and was dragged off and was pronounced dead on the scene.
Not good. Fatality.
Oh, that's messed up.
A little bit. Oh, I take humor at people's deaths. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a sick motherfucker.
Yeah, there's a video on this, and I guess when you watch the video, it's locals in Singapore making this video, but yet this kid was speaking. What is he speaking? Chinese? What is that? Where's Singapore?
Look, neither one of us are geography majors, so
or
I'm gonna say geology.
Or geology, either one.
That's a rock.
Well, that's about it. That's a sex stone. What is that? It's just fucking rock. Sorry, maybe we shouldn't air that.
Nice.
Anyway.
All right.
But they were speaking like half English, half
Singaporese.
Yeah, Singaporean.
Yeah, I think it's Chinese, or maybe it's Mandarin.
Singapore, China, right? No, where's
Singapore? I think Singapore's a country of its own. Tach, we're really showing our ignorance
Please
here.
don't air this part.
I think it'd be funnier if we left it in.
I feel stupid.
Hang on, let me look it up.
We'll just ask Siri. Where is Singapore?
Okay, here's Singapore.
Oh, she just shows me a picture.
It's a picture of Uranus.
It's just a country.
Near, is it like Thailand, Indonesia?
What do they speak in Singapore?
Interesting question.
English,
Tach.
asshole.
Really? Just an interesting question?
She didn't answer you?
No.
Siri's a bitch.
Anyway, so there's a video online.
Okay.
And the guy speaks half English, half not English. And they were first pointing out like there's a line against the rail and don't get too close because they can get across. And the guy was like, whoa. Anyway. And then this thing happened. They're like, oh my God. And they're like freaking out and, But if you want to see the video, check it out.
Fatality.
Fatality. All right. Number 8.
Number 8.
You ready? Okay. Is the Berlin Zoo.
All right. Where's Berlin? No, I'm kidding.
I always say where it's from, even though it's very clear. Like, I have another one. Well, anyway, I still say where it is, even though it's pretty clear where it's at.
Okay.
In 2009, a 32-year-old German woman, only known by the name Mandy K, jumped into the polar bear exhibit after getting through safety walls at the Berlin Zoo in Germany. She deliberately went in during feeding time.
Oh boy.
One bear attacked her and I wrote this weird. One bear attacked her and inflicted serious bites on her legs and arms. Later it was found out that the woman had recently lost her teaching job and really missed the children and the field trips they used to go on. The woman was charged for trespassing.
Do you think the bear said, tastes like sauerkraut? Is that too far of a joke?
There's a little bit of reach, but I would have said something like bratwurst or something. But yeah.
German sausage.
But yeah, I mean, this one was trying to commit suicide, man.
That's a horrible way to go. If I'm going to commit suicide, I want it quick and painless. Gun,
yeah.
I don't know, something. Jumping out of an airplane,
but here's
something.
the thing, okay, she thought that day, she's like, today's the day, I'm going to kill myself, and I'm going to do it by way of polar bear. So she had to think about that. Then she had to go down and drive over there or whatever, or take a bus, whatever, get a friend and drop her off. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's literally millions of ways to die on the way to the zoo.
That's a movie about that.
So there's literally a million ways to die on the way to the airport. Or on the way to the zoo.
On the way to the airport, too.
On the way to the school. On the way to church.
On the way to the bathroom.
On the way to the bathroom. So that is the Berlin Zoo, number 8.
So far, we have tiger attack, a gorilla didn't attack, and a bear attack. I think so far the worst is the bear. I think if I had gorilla, well, I don't know.
I think there might be a video of that as well.
That's not one I want to see.
It showed, all I saw was a picture, so I don't know if that was from a video or what.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 7.
Oklahoma City Zoo. In 1998,
That's where girl Andrea's from. Oklahoma.
the zoo.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the zoo. She's from the Ginger exhibit.
Hey.
Oh, can I not say Ginger?
In 1998, 34-year-old zookeeper Lisa Moorhead,
We're so. I'm sorry. We're men's men, and that's just funny to us.
was feeding a Malayan tapir.
Tapir? Topper?
Do you know what that is?
Nope.
Can you look
It's a hard word to say.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, it's Tapir. I believe it's in the rodent family. I think it's kind of like...
Oh, that's one of those big fucking...
Yeah, like...
It looks like the thing that was in... help me out here. What's the movie? Princess Bride?
Princess Bride.
In the Fire Force?
ROUSS, rodents of unusual size.
Yeah. Tapir. Tapir?
Yep.
All right, tapir.
So she was feeding a Malayan tapir named Melody.
That looks like a pig and a anteater had sex.
Yeah.
All right.
She was feeding one of those, and it was named Melody, at the Oklahoma City Zoo one morning. While pushing food through a small opening in the holding area, Melody, the tapir... Am I saying that right?
Sure. Let me look. I actually have it on my phone.
Oh.
Yes, you're saying it right. I really don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, Melody... the tapir, whatever, grabbed her arm and jerked her through a 2-foot wide opening. The zookeeper suffered critical injuries, facial gashes, a punctured lung, and her arm was ripped off mid-bicep.
Damn.
Right.
That's a tough-ass fucking mouse.
You wouldn't
I just completely bombed our sensor there, didn't I?
That's all right.
That's a tough mouse. Holy shit.
Yeah, experts say it was an unusual case of mother protecting her young since the baby was between her and Melody. So,
okay.
The zookeeper and the animal. So, but that is looking at that thing, you wouldn't think that thing would do anything to like anybody, much less
yeah, no kidding.
Rip an arm off.
I mean, it looks like it would be the first to the feeding trough, but that it doesn't look like it would be aggressive towards humans.
Not at
animals
all.
when they feel threatened in the animal kingdom, doesn't matter what animal it is, those things will get mean. Like ducks. Man, ducks can get mean if they've got babies behind them. Oh, watch out. Those things hurt. They'll beat you to death, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Ironically, number 6 is a duck attack in Quebec.
Duck in Quebec Zoo. No. All right, number 6.
Number 6.
This one isn't named after a zoo. It's named after the animal, which is Tillicum.
Is that what you say to a hooker? I'm not going to pay you. Tillicum. The Tach's turning red. Oh.
Hooker word of the day. It is Tillicum.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm saying it right.
Phonetically, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty phonetic.
Now you can't do number 6 without thinking of my joke, can you?
Well, luckily, it says she also goes by Tilly. So I can say that.
That was her name?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was like a breed of animal or a species, maybe.
I really didn't get that far yet. So.
No, you didn't.
Tillicum, or Tilly, is the very first thing it says, is an orca that was transferred in 1992 to the Orlando SeaWorld. Before that, she was at Sealand of the Pacific in British Columbia. Tilly was involved in 3 deaths. A trainer at Sealand, a trainer at SeaWorld, and also a trespasser that just broke in.
Where was this whale at?
In Orlando.
Yeah, that was the one over here that made the news, right?
Tilly was heavily the topic in CNN Films 2013 Blackfish.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of a sad story. I mean, Tilly, as far as I know, is still alive. I don't really know. I did see Blackfish, though. I don't remember much about it, though, but I did see it. And I remember watching it going, you know what, screw SeaWorld. I'm not going there again, you know?
Well, I mean, that is one half of the story, Tach. So almost all of those are propaganda films. Michael Moore is famous for doing that. He will tell a very slanted story. It's entertaining, usually. They're very entertaining, but they are very slanted. So if you go into it knowing you're watching their perspective, then you can make your own opinion on it.
Yeah, that is one interesting thing you talk about Michael Moore too, is like, Like I can't stand the guy.
Did you mean speaking of the orca species?
Yeah. Like I can't stand the guy. I think he's horrible. Not horrible, but I just don't know. Like, but, and he even says this too, and he's absolutely correct in this. He's just a good filmmaker, though. Like his stuff is very interesting and fascinating, and he does a good job. Like he really does, but. For some reason, people just hate him for some reason. But
well, that's because
his movies are really good, though.
Yeah, he's very politically driven, and if his agenda doesn't match yours, you're going to not like the guy.
I don't know, but it's still, I watch his documentaries, and I think they're great.
The only one I ever watched was...
even though I don't agree, they're just still...
What was the other famous one he did before Blackfish?
He did...
or no, he didn't do Blackfish, did he?
No, I don't think he did. He did Bowling for Columbine.
Yeah, I watched that.
That one was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He did that one on healthcare. I forget.
When he drove, that was so funny. He drove on
that
a
one
boat.
Was fascinating. I thought
he drove U.S. citizens to Guantanamo Bay in a boat, like a skiff of some kind, to try to get them health care because they didn't have health care in the U.S. And since these prisoners of Guantanamo Bay were getting health care, he wanted to prove a point and say, you're offering these prisoners, United States taxpayers, health care. Please take care of these U.S. citizens that I have on the boat. One of them had cancer, he had sick people.
Yeah.
So he's glamorizing them, but he's also he's elaborating his point.
Right. So that was number 6, which brings us to our only break, really.
Our only break.
So when we come back, let me ask you a question. Have you always wondered, I know you may have thought this at times, and I have myself. I've just,
why does a guy have nipples?
Why do guys have, no. What exactly does a drunk man do if he's bit by a panda? You ever wonder that?
What?
I, like every week, it pops in my head. But we're going to find out when we come back.
Sweet. Good point.
All right, so when we come back, we will talk about that and some other ones. We have 5 through 1 coming up, and we will see you in a few.
All right. Hey, this is Adam. This week's Twisted 10 is brought to you by just Tach and myself. We don't have a sponsor for this week's show. So Tach and I have been talking a lot about having sponsorships in our podcast, weighing the pros and the cons. We're a big fan of having more content than advertising. So as opposed to listening to a radio show where 40% of your time that you're listening to the show is built around sponsorships, Tach and I think that the content delivery is far more important. While the delivery of content of a podcast is paramount to the success of the show, sometimes you gotta have sponsors to help cover some of the bills. While we do have 2 sponsors currently for both of our shows, that's the Twisted 10, which is this show, and Living Podcariously, which is another show that Tach and I produce, a little bit more raw and rough. We do have some opportunities that are coming up for other sponsors. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor of the Twisted 10 or Living Podcariously, shoot us an email at show@livingpodcariously.com, and we'll get back with you with the contract details.
And welcome back.
I enjoyed that vape break, Tach. How about you?
Indeed. So what we're talking about is the top 10 twisted zoo animal attacks or incidences. Just a quick reminder of the top 5 so far.
All right.
Number 10, Brookfield Zoo. That was the other gorilla one.
Gorilla that saved the 3-year-old.
Yep. The Singapore Zoo, that was the 2 white tigers that attacked the cleaner with the mop and bucket.
And proof that Adam and Tach don't know anything about geography.
The Berlin Zoo, that's about the woman that basically attempted suicide by jumping in with a polar bear.
Bearicide. 9.
Oklahoma City Zoo, that was with the zookeeper and the tapir or whatever. And Tillicum.
Or Tillicum.
Or Tilly, the orca. So, let's get at it. Number 5.
Number 5
is the Pittsburgh Zoo. In 2012, a 2-year-old boy fell into the African painted dogs exhibit.
African painted dogs.
Yeah, they're kind of like...
Isn't that the name of the West Side Gang? Sorry, go ahead.
They're kind of like, if I looked them up too, they're kind of like a...
Hyena, maybe?
Hyena mixed with like a dingo, mixed with like a...
Dingo stole my baby.
Dingo ate your baby. Well, funny thing here. Yeah, so... Pittsburgh Zoo in
did I
PA.
spoil it?
Yeah. This 2-year-old fell into the exhibit, and 11 wild dogs attacked and killed
Oh, not good.
the 2-year-old. Yeah. They said it was experts say, it was pretty unusual for these, because most people, like, wild dogs aren't really that aggressive, but this was like a pack of 11 of them. So I don't know.
Mob mentality. You see that in any kind of culture, be it, wild animals or people or anything. People do, different things when they're in a mob, and the mob mentality sets in. You
Indeed.
suddenly, lose all reasoning ability and do some ridiculous stuff.
I know mobs do that. I mean, the ice people, they whack off a guy.
That kind of mob. I see what you're doing there. Sleep with the fishes.
But if it's just, how many off a guy? I'm going to whack a guy off? What do you want me to do?
Back to the killer whale.
What?
Tillicum.
I can't believe I didn't think of that. Anyway. Number 4.
Can't believe the shades of red you turned when that joke came out.
It just was good. Beautiful. Number 4. This one actually is not so cool.
Uh-oh.
Okay. It's called the Zanesville Massacre. Okay.
Zanesville. Let me
Yeah.
guess. Country is Australia.
No, it's a town.
Oh.
It's actually a town in Ohio.
Ohio? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, Terry Thompson, this guy Terry Thompson,
That sounds like a cartoon character set up by, who's the comic book writer that always makes characters named with the same letter in the
like
first
Lois Lane, Lex Luthor, Lana
Clark
Lang.
Kent. Even though that was a C and a K, but you get it.
Terry Thompson owned and ran a wildlife preserve in Zanesville, Ohio, which was home to several different exotic animals, including lions, tigers, and bears.
Oh my.
And also monkeys and horses and, So, one day in 2011, Terry decided to release all of the animals into the town.
I heard about this.
And then he shot himself.
Yeah, I heard about this.
So, the wild animals began to roam the town and turn aggressive on each other.
Holy shit. He wanted it looking like Jumanji up in there.
Yeah. Within the city limits, local sheriff deputies were given orders to shoot and kill the wild animals terrorizing the town. Once the carnage was over, 49 animals were slaughtered,
Oh, man.
including 18 Bengal tigers, 17 lions, 6 black bears, 2 grizzlies, 3 mountain lions, 2
And a
wolves,
partridge in a pear tree.
a baboon, and I have written here, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Oh, you did.
I
Damn,
did.
there's a second line I stole from you.
There were still some animals that hadn't escaped. They were the smart ones. Like, dude, where you going? We're not supposed to go out there. Terry's gonna be pissed. Somehow I made them sound gay. I don't know why. And those ones that did survive were transferred to the Columbus Zoo.
Why didn't they tranquilize those? I mean, if I get they didn't, why did they didn't tranquilize
that was
them?
actually mentioned in the story I was reading because it was. What did it say? I think it was something like it was making him more aggressive or something. I don't remember, but
What were they? Go through that list of animals again, if you don't mind. I got the tigers. I got that. Public nuisance for those, for
do you
sure.
want numbers or just the animals?
Just the types of animals they shot and killed.
Bengal tigers, lions,
Got it.
black
Okay.
bears, grizzlies, mountain lions,
Okay.
2 wolves, and a baboon.
Okay. All right. I was going to say, if there were like some cockatiels and shit in there, that's just overkill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there were talks though in the story too. It was talking about how a couple of the lions were attacking the horses and trying to bring horses down. And,
Oh, wow.
like one lion ate one of the couple of the monkeys. It was chaos. I mean, it was just nuts.
What's the movie with the animals that are kept in the zoo and then they go on those adventures and they've got the 4 penguins that are the lead characters? And what movie is that?
That is Madagascar.
Madagascar. So you're telling me it's not like Madagascar in real life. When the animals grow out together, they don't just like buddy up and cause all sorts of chaos.
Yeah, they grew up in the zoo, Bronx Zoo. That's where that story came from. But yeah, that's horrible though. I tried to read. I didn't read too far into the story, but I really was I was skimming it, trying to find why this dude shot himself. But something about how this guy Terry Thompson wasn't exactly the best wildlife owner guy, because I guess he was arrested several times for animal cruelty.
Oh, geez.
He was told several times to get rid of it, shut it down, this kind of shit. And it's probably whatever. But then he just kept getting charges. He'd been arrested several times, and I don't know. I guess one day he just had enough and just decided to screw this town, screw you guys, and I'm gonna let them all free and shoot myself. And his wife came home to like 49 of her dead animals, 50 of her dead animals, one of them including her husband. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
And she was mostly upset about the baboon.
Most likely.
Trying to find comedy in a bad story.
Yeah. So that was just awful.
Horses, of course, of course, of course.
All right, number 3.
Number
just
3.
Like the teaser I promised you. I'm going to explain it to you right now.
All right.
The Beijing Zoo. In 2006...
Beijing is China, by the way. I know this one. I know this one.
At the Beijing Zoo in China, a drunken man enters the panda enclosure. 6-year-old panda named Gugu, I guess, G-U-G-U.
Okay.
Gugu. Attacks man and bites both of his legs. In retaliation, the drunken 35-year-old returns fire and bites the panda on his back.
Really?
Yeah. Gugu was actually involved in 3 total bites at that zoo. Experts were asked why this panda was acting so aggressive. In response, they said, he's acting just like a normal wild bear.
That sounds like an Onion News article.
Yeah. I read that and I was like, that's awesome. They're like, nope, not doing anything different.
Why is this gator biting me? Well, he's a fucking gator. That's kind of what they do.
That's what
they do.
And when they go to the meetings, they go, what are we doing? We're biting. That's what we're doing.
Did you ever hear, and I'll segue for just a second, did you ever hear the story of the scorpion and the frog?
Is this like a fable?
It's sort of. It's more of a moral.
Oh, well, it's kind of the same thing.
So a scorpion and a frog are both at the edge of the river, wanting to get a little creek, wanting to get across.
Okay.
The frog can obviously make it across, but the scorpion is in his way.
Okay.
The scorpion says, I'll make you a deal. Let me ride you across the river, and I won't kill you before you have a chance to go by yourself. So the frog thinks about it for a minute, and he says, how can I trust you? The scorpion says, well, if I sting you, then we're both going to drown. So the frog says, okay. So if you save my life or allow me to pass, then I'll carry you across. So the frog sets off and starts to swim across this little creek. Halfway through, the scorpion stings the frog, and they both start to drown. Mm-hmm. As they're drowning, the frog asks the scorpion, why did you sting me? He said, because it's in my nature.
Wow.
Interesting moral story.
It's kind of like in The Strangers, why are you doing this to me? Because you were home.
I don't know what I don't get that reference.
It's a movie called The Strangers.
Oh.
It's got Liv Tyler in it, and I forget the other guy's name. But
that doesn't matter. Liv Tyler is good enough for me. Yeah.
So it's about these people that break into their house and just terrorize them through the whole movie.
Really?
And they wear masks and stuff, and they're kind of creepy looking. And at the end of this movie, she's like, "Why are you doing this to us?" And one of them killers goes, "Because you were home." That was it. That was their only motivation. It's freaked up, dude.
People be crazy, Tach.
Like, whoa! Like that was like the coolest part.
So you spoiled the movie for me? Got it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I
gave away their motive.
I would watch it for Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry to detour us.
It's all good. Okay, so number 2.
Number 2.
This one is also just named Mila.
Okay. Kunis?
No.
Jovovich?
No.
I don't have any more Milas.
How about the Mila, the African elephant?
Oh, okay. Kind of the opposite direction I was going there.
Yeah.
A little bit.
This one it's really sad. I don't like this one.
All right.
But I wanted to share it. Okay, let me just get into it. Okay. Mila was once known as Jumbo, was an ex-circus elephant.
Okay.
Mila was later saved from the abusive life of being in the circus and was transferred to a wildlife sanctuary. When she was at the circus, she was actually bullied by other elephants and was also taken from her family at a very young age. So Mila had, what happened was she crushed her handler to death one fateful afternoon. She was spooked by something just moments before, witnesses say.
A mouse?
No. Her handler was trying to calm her down. They think it was an electric fence or something like that. Her handler was trying to calm her down. Experts believe that she was very emotionally attached to the 42-year-old Helen Schofield, which was her handler.
That's the handler's name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And felt, quote, betrayed when she was spooked by what they believe was a shock from an electric fence.
Okay.
Elephants are very emotional animals and very social.
Elephants are one of the only animals in the world, out of the entire animal kingdom, that returns to pay respects to the bones of the deceased elephants that were part of their pride. Pride is like a group of elephants.
Oh, gotcha.
They're the only one. They're also one of the only animals, aside of a primate, that can recognize their own reflection. And then they'll turn and look in different directions to see parts of their body that they can't normally see. Elephants are incredibly intelligent. I dated one once.
Mila had emotional issues. There's actually footage of her. I clicked on a video just to see what it was because I didn't know if it was the video of the murder or what. I didn't know. So I clicked on it, and it was the handler holding the camera. And Mila had gotten upset about something. Something had triggered Mila to be upset. So this elephant was literally like an equivalent to like somebody like rocking back and forth in a chair, like, having emotional
nervous
issues.
pacing.
But she was like kind of like just swaying back and forth.
Yeah.
And it was just like
kind of like the equivalent of an elephant temper tantrum.
Yeah. And so the whole time the trainer, you hear on the video going, Mila, well, back then it was Jumbo because her name didn't get changed yet. So it was like, Jumbo, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And the elephant was just like swaying back and forth, And then like the elephant looked at her and like you just saw sadness in this elephant's eyes. Like you were just like, it just broke my heart just looking in this eyes. I was just like, holy crap. Like if you didn't believe that elephants were emotional animals, look at that video and look into the eyes of that elephant.
They also taste pretty good.
It was, you could tell that she was emotionally hurt by something. It was nuts. And then anyway, just watching that is really sad. And so they said that experts, once again, believe that she intentionally did kill the handler, even though she was very emotionally attached to her, but just because she thought she was betrayed by her somehow.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's so sad. Like that elephant just, I don't know, it just needs help.
Our in-studio, Twisted 10 studio mascot, Oliver, has tried trampling me before, and it didn't turn out very well.
Weighs like 10 pounds.
Yeah, probably not even that.
Okay, so let's move on to the last one. Number one, and it takes place in the Copenhagen Zoo, which is in where?
Germany.
No.
Copenhagen,
Denmark?
Denmark. Denmark's what I meant to say.
In 2012, an Afghan man living in Denmark was found dead in the Siberian tiger enclosure one early morning. The man snuck into the zoo after hours and jumped down into the tiger enclosure and was attacked and killed by 3 Siberian tigers. Officials believe it was suicide by tiger.
It's another horrible way to go, man.
Why are people doing this?
No kidding.
Like, I mean, okay, I get people want to die sometimes. But usually, like, bullet to the head, it's quick, it's painless,
right.
You know? But no, it's like, no, I deserve to suffer somehow.
Either that or it's the glory that they know that they're going to be brought up on a cheesy podcast, several years later.
I can't wait to be on a podcast mentioned by these 2 dudes.
Yep.
Like, in a room somewhere 3 years later. Oh, shit, I'm sorry, not even 3 years. 4 years later.
4 years.
Simple math. But that's it, man. That's my top 10.
That was a good list. That I'm actually already thinking about the MP3 cover art to put on there for Facebook. I think I'm going to probably put that gorilla. I mean, Harambe, yeah.
Harambe.
That's popular right now. It'll get some clicks.
Top 10 twisted zoo animal attacks or incidences. Did you hear about that gorilla over in China? I think it's China, or maybe Japan, where it drew in a huge crowd of women. Women to
like
this zoo.
Female women spectators.
Yeah, humans. They drew in a lot of women to this zoo to see this big silverback gorilla. I don't remember the gorilla's name. because he was so handsome. And there's
Really?
pictures of him online. He's a handsome dude. Like for as far as gorillas go,
For a gorilla.
he was a handsome gorilla. Like
You know what, Tach? For a gorilla, you're pretty good looking.
I mean, he was just like George Clooney. This gorilla. I don't know. It just was dapper.
Gorilla Clooney.
Anyway, so a lot of these had videos you can go and check out, look into. You can read more into the story in each one. But
That's a good list, dude. I enjoyed that a lot. That's so topical right now, man. That was probably our most topical Twisted 10 so far.
yeah, I was
Current events.
trying to think, and I was like, all I kept coming across was Harambe.
I've got a buddy, Scott, down. He lives down in Melbourne, and I told him about the show, and I invited him to be a guest on the show. By the way, if you're irrelevant of a podcast host for another podcast, or just somebody who is a listener to the show and want to maybe guest host and come in the studio with us, our guest hosts take over the show. That's essentially what it is. Tach and I become listeners. And I mean, we get involved with the show, yes. But we turn the show over to the guest that comes in. So I had a buddy, Scott, that I wanted to bring up here because he's got some crazy conspiracies and he's a good writer for a show like this.
Yeah.
Because he's just so full of that kind of information. He's already sent me a couple topics. So I've got plenty to pick from. I have no idea to tease. I have nothing to tease for this week, but, I'm trying to get him up there. But if you're interested in doing a spot in here, or maybe sending in to Tach, because Tach usually reads the emails for this show. If you're interested, they need to send an email to thetwisted10@gmail.com. Is that right?
That's it. Correct.
All right, cool.
Also, even if you do want to be a guest host on the show and you don't live in our area, we can also set you up on Skype, and we can just do it that way as well.
Oh, very cool. Well, all right.
You can also follow us on Twitter at The Twisted 10.
At The Twisted 10.
Yep. And also Facebook and
Facebook.com/The Twisted 10. Was this a ping pong?
So.
I didn't know if you were tossing me beach balls to hit back or not.
No. I was trying to think. I thought there was something else. Is that all the social media we got?
Yeah. Well, that's the other show. But yeah, if you like some of the content that Tach and I put together, check out our other little bit more harsh podcast called Living Podcariously. There, we get a little bit more down to dirty and men's perspectives type stuff, and we have a segment on there called The Guyry, which women send us questions and we answer them. Andrea, our co-host on that show, asks us questions that women have been dying to know, and we give them answers. Sometimes we don't know, but usually we give them answers.
Yeah, that's right, Adam. And we also answer very honestly, and the show is about sex, about relationships, all that kind of thing, and everything in between.
Yep.
So.
Cool. Good top 10 list, Tach. I appreciate that. That was awesome.
Well, thank you, sir. All right, you ready to get out?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right, man. We guys have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
See ya.